Okay, straight on to chapter 9. And we're almost at the end of Lynn's story now. We have one more little tutorial chapter. The introduction of one of the most useless units in the game. Well, I suppose that's unfair, he is good as a meat shield at this stage. But yeah, and then we should be able to move on to Ellawood's story after this. Well, not after this, but after the next chapter. Yeah. Which I may or may not get done tonight. I'm not sure. This chapter might take a little while. Oh, of course, there's also the introduction of fog in this chapter. Okay, units, fine as they are. Let's do a bit of trading now. Let's give Matthew that Lance Reaver. Oh wait. Yeah, Lynn wants the Lance Reaver. And I think everyone else is fine. Let's just check the list, make sure I haven't overlooked anything though. Formation. Stuff comes out of that fort. I think it's axemen. Well, basic bits and bobs come out of all the forts, really. It's mostly axemen from these three. And apart from that, there's not really many that come out, so it's hard to tell anyway, because there's a lot of fog in this chapter. I love how Matthew hates being called a thief. And how this guy was ever made Lord, I do not know. To be fair, we could have taken this guy down in like an absolute instant. This guy. This is a very bad section of the tutorial because I'm using a promotional item at level 12 is just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Right, there's no point explaining Wallace yet because you can't use him in his night form. And you are forced to use the Night Crest. It's a waste of a Night Crest, it really is. Eight levels under promoted. Such a waste. Okay, so now he can use axes, which is why he had an axe in his inventory. Right. Wallace is basically nothing more than a meat shield. You have him for 2 chapters and he's overstated for these 2 chapters. But hang on. As you can see, he's like, well, he hasn't got skill. His defense and his strength are ridiculously overleveled. But for the levels he's at, they are terrible. I mean, you're talking that he's supposed to be a general. His defense should be into the 20s, and you get him for 2 chapters. He will suck the EXP away like nobody's business if you actually use him in these 2 chapters. And on top of that, you then lose him, and there's actually no guarantee that you even get him back. I mean, you lose him for at least 14 chapters, 15, and then it's like he comes back at the same level that he left, and you're just sort of sat there wondering, like, what the hell were you doing? For 15 chapters, you weren't even, like, training. It's terrible. He is an absolutely pointless unit. But I digress. The best thing to do with him is take his weapons off him in between the chapters and just abuse the game mechanics. Use him as a meat shield. Let him like drain like 1-2 EXP from the fact that enemies will just try and run up and hit him just because he doesn't have a weapon. And then, that's it. That's all you can do with him. That's all you actually want to do with him. I never understood how such a pointless unit could exist. I was about to say person, but I think it's a bit too harsh. Oh my god, it's just... ugh. He's worse than Dorcas, that's how bad he is. He's worse than Dorcas. And that really isn't something that you hear me say much. Okay, so let's take that guy Matthew again. There is a reason for that. It's because Sarah's right behind Matthew up there. Okay. Heal. The strategy in this chapter is just try and get on. Try and get finished. Keep Lucius there, because the bandits will keep coming from that spot. And of course, above all, trying to make sure that Wallace doesn't get any XP, because it's just wasted. Absolutely wasted. Florina has a torch, so she's alright there. Matthew can see far in the fog. He can see further than any of the other units, being a thief. Although it is never really adequately explained why thieves can see further, I guess they kind of thought it never really needed to be. Right, there we go, there's the fog. This is where it does become a little bit difficult, because you've got to try and think, you know, hang on, there could be enemies anywhere. You know, where am I going to get attacked from next? How do I block an attack that I can't see? And, the annoying part about this chapter is this thick forest. And then of course you've been sandwiched by the bandits as well. It just makes life difficult. But yeah, you keep at it, keep going. And let's have a look at his range, let's have a look at his range. Okay, they're both fine, because one will attack Lynn and one won't. I've sort of bottlenecked myself, but that's okay. The reinforcements stopped coming after a little while, so... Ooh. But it's not much more than life being made awkward by that forest. That is where the difficulty in this chapter lies. Okay, that was harsh. That's very harsh. I'm going to stick more or less there. I'm going to give Will his weapons. And by all rights, that should mean that that knight that has Lynn in his range will just go straight for Wallace instead. And it won't do any damage to Wallace whatsoever. At least that's if I've got my Fire Emblem 101 right. Of course, saying that they're just dealing with that bandit. Oh no, he stayed for Ken. Well, I guess I've got my 101 wrong. Of course, that does become a problem here that Lucius is rapidly running out of magic. Let's have Ken finish that off. Sane's in a little bit of trouble up here. So the big problem now is, I know there's archers on the field, but I have no idea where. And that's a bit scary when you've got Florina out. So, archer attacks Sane again. I see there is another one. So I was right to hold off on using Florina. But they showed me a good hand there. They both sort of wedged themselves in that little bottleneck there. So, just going to move Matthew across a tiny bit. Now you see there's a Myrmidon there. And he's actually got a very good attack range, which makes him a bit awkward. I was hoping it was going to be slightly worse than that. Okay. Alright. Lynn will have to go there. She's got the possibility of taking an attack from a soldier, but soldiers are generally a very weak unit. And do a little bit of trickery here with Nels. Actually, I needed to heal Kemp anyway. That was unplanned, but it worked. This is the only spot where I get grass, and the Myrmidon up there doesn't. So, take full advantage of that fact. Okay, he is going for Matthew. Thought I prevented that. Oh, I see. Okay, this is where we find out how many units are left on the map. It's a very simple way. Okay, there's still more units out there. If there hadn't have been, the music would have changed. So we now know that there's more than, say, well, there's at least more than 2 on the map. Oh wait, what am I chatting? Who's that guy? I forgot about that guy. Okay, yeah, my head is really bad. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to give Wallace back his lance. You might be wondering why. It's all to do with this guy, Eagler. So he currently has a javelin equipped. If I move into his range with Wallace with his lance, he will lose his javelin for that hand axe that he's got, and that will turn him into an easy kill for Lynn and the Manikari. So let's move Wallace there, and let's just do random gubbins. Oh, actually, let's have a look at Sane. Sane's HP was quite low. Okay, that can wait till next time. Alright, so now, of course here we get a special little conversation as well. Now Eagler was very hesitant, but there you go, hand axe, to participate in this battle. Never truly explained why, but the hypothesis is that London had his family hostage or was exerting some grip over him. Right, now this should finish him. This is the occasions I saved the Manikati for. Anyway, let's roll. Unusual. However, he will most likely go for Wallace again. No. Kind of stupid, really. Well. I'm not sure if I can get Sarah quite far enough, but we'll see. Oh well, she can still heal. Let's just give her a little bit of EXP just for the end of the chapter. And there we go, that's chapter 9 done. Ready and waiting for the final showdown. And there we go. I think. Oh no, more talking. Nice guy. Anyway, that's it. Chapter 10 will be next time.